Hello everyone, and thanks for taking some time out of your day to visit my channel. Today I shall be reacting to symphonic black metal legends DIMMU BORGIR. So this will be a double reaction. I'll be doing Gateways and Progenies of the Great Apocalypse. So both are going to be live clips from the Forces of the Northern Night concert. So full disclosure, I have heard the studio version of Gateways a little while ago. I don't really remember it, but it's not going to be a complete first time reaction, but it will be the first time watching the live performance. Have never heard Progenies of the Great Apocalypse at all, so that will be a completely brand new reaction. So I've done one reaction to them on this channel. That was Morning Palace from the Wacken Open Air, and that was brilliant. I loved how complex and doomy and riveting and just exciting it was. There were so many awesome, moving and magical moments. I just loved it so much. I had so many awesome comments and suggestions on the last video. A lot of you were telling me to check out some of their older stuff. They've had so many different lineup changes that certain members I've been told I need to see. So I know some of them are not going to be in this one. So I'll try and get back to them soon. I'm sorry I've left it so long, but I thought I'd try and make up for lost time and do a double reaction today. Last double reaction I didn't do any pauses in the song, and a lot of you guys seem to prefer that. So I'm going to do the same today. For this video, I'm not going to pause the songs at all. I'm going to give you my thoughts in between and after. Hopefully it doesn't get blocked. Without further ado, let's get started with Gateways.
Spektrum. Dere klare for en symfonisk metal-aften med DIMMU BORGIR I kveld? Dere klare? Neste låt ut, Gateways. Da kan dere kanskje gjette hvem vi har med oss I kveld. Ingen andre enn Agnete Fjadjerv.
He's got a great presence. Okay, that was really hard for me not to pause. There were so many things I wanted to say during that. I feel like I almost want to go back and re-listen to a couple of bits, but I have goosebumps. There was so much contrast and dynamics in that. There was such a range of tone and mood that happened throughout that entire piece. Straight off the bat, amazing to see the increase in production quality compared to the previous video I watched, which was from Wacken. I think it was probably a few years older than this, so the quality wasn't as good, but this is clearly their event, and having the full orchestra and choir and just staging, the lighting and everything, this feels really, really special and unique. The sound quality is fantastic, the cinematography is fantastic as well, so just all-around incredible production, which just sets the stage for this unique, dark, doomy, wonderful masterpiece. I kind of forgot most of the song. It's been a while since I heard the original, but I feel like I enjoyed this more than the studio version. There was some extra intensity and magic to this. Now, I don't know I remember there being a female voice, but I don't know this the singer's name with the blonde hair. I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments. I'll look this up afterwards, but she was unbelievable. The intensity she had was just so fantastic, and like when she first came in, you know, you heard the crowd erupt, and she could do that crazy scream just like an evil witch. For that final section, she has such a commanding, more melodic tone, and the way her voice and the lead singer's voice cut together was such a crazy contrast, because he's got almost like a guttural speaking voice a lot of the time. It's kind of lower energy, but it's so sinister and creepy, and it works with the music so well. And then their voices together are on opposite ends of the spectrum, but they blended so nicely. Again, as I remember from Morning Palace, the way they can switch up rhythms and change the composition completely, it's so jarring, it keeps you off guard, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. And again, talking about contrast, like seeing them and their makeup and everything and their costumes in contrast to the orchestra that are all just dressed up traditionally, it's such an interesting clashing of worlds. It's just fascinating. I kind of want to rewatch the moment where she first came in, because that just grabbed me immediately. I'll see if I can find it. I mean, just look at the expressions in her face. She's feeling it, she's living it so much. I've been making a bit of music lately and trying to improve my singing voice, and some advice that I got from a musician friend was, what are you thinking about when you sing? Because I was struggling with a song and I kept thinking about the lyrics and the notes, and then I got stuck in that and it wouldn't work. And the advice I got was, what is the song about? Get your mind in the meaning of the song and think about that. And then that will come through with the performance. That will pull everything else along when you have an intent. And you can see it in her face. You can see her expression. She is invoking the demon in that moment. And it has so much raw energy and power. It's spooky. Paired with the imagery and her incredible skill as it is, it was such an amazing touch. I really could say similar things about all of them. They're clearly so invested and so into it. And you can't help but buy into it when you watch it, which is just incredible. That was really special, but let's move on to the next ones. This is going to be a completely new reaction to me. Don't know the original. It's going to be Progenies of the Great Apocalypse.
Progenies! 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 Of the Great Apocalypse.
Good sound. Goosebumps again. Goodness. Sometimes a song just stuns me into silence and I have to sit there for a second and process everything. Oh, there was a moment where I really was just flabbergasted because it was such a huge wall of sound. It was more than a wall of sound. It was like a giant structure of sound. It was so heavy when the choir came in because it was already such a thick sound, like the bass and everything, and you could hear the reverberation in the building was already just chunky as it was, and that sounded great. And then you added the choir on top, so you had that crazy thick dark electronic sound that was already filling the place, and then they somehow managed to fit in. They found an extra space within the mix. I mean, excellently mixed by whoever did this, by the way. But they found that extra space on top to add the choir, and it had a kind of purity to it. I think maybe they were singing in a diminished scale, which was, it just kind of sat on top nicely, but it was still very different to the rest of everything underneath. And it was such a huge sound, and it was compelling. I just was in shock. I need to hear this whole thing again. There's so many good things to say about it. One thing I'm noticing, I could be wrong about this, but you know, you've got I'm not sure if that's the band symbol on the left and right, this fabric that's hanging down. I'm not sure if that's just for display or if that's for acoustic reasons, for both the choir and the orchestra, because as I mentioned, it was such a thick sound, you could really hear the reverb in there. So you have to wonder whether that is to actually protect them a little bit from the sound bouncing back so they can hear themselves. I could be wrong, could be completely wrong about that. Wouldn't be the first time, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was what they were doing, because it must be hard to hear yourself amongst all of that. But that just sounded just so juicy. And there was a moment where the lead singer was doing, almost sounded like throat singing, like it was such a bizarre noise. His voice is so demonic, and then it cuts so well with all the instrumentation, and they really embrace the drama and the theatricality of their music, and they just go full force into it, and you get sucked into another world when you hear it. Some of the moments of the brass and the strings, they have like overlapping chromatic and dissonant notes, very cinematic. It reminded me of some parts of the Matrix theme track, where you'd have different brass sections would come in and play a note each, and you slowly layer, and then you have this weird dissonant chord by the end of it, which is kind of shocking, and it really works in adding drama and suspense, and it all just blends so nicely with this. There are so many little details that have gone into it. You can tell they are a seasoned band and have been around for a long time, because everything about this, from the musicianship, the mixing, the stage presence, their performing ability, the whole production of this video and the live show and everything is just incredible. The attention to detail is fantastic. If you don't mind, I actually just want to hear the final little section again. I also love how the drummer can mix things up. Like, again, they're very good with layers. So certain sections can carry on the same rhythm, same tempo, but something else changes and it completely changes the mood. So often, like, the riff or the orchestra will be playing the same thing, but the drummer will go half time or double time, or use a polyrhythm to mix things up. And it's just there's so much happening. I think I could listen to this multiple times and keep noticing new things. God, I'm sorry, I'm rambling so much. I'm just trying to hear the last minute and a half, if you don't mind, because that was just overwhelming.
To preserve our liberation, we'll face darkness in our hearts with the soul of fire. We inspire to the truth and pursue with truth.
Props to the conductor as well. You've got that blast beat going on, all that noise, and he's still having to keep the slow rhythm going for the orchestra. He's still got to focus on that while keeping an ear on everything else. That's got to be so hard. That moment where the orchestra play the staccato chords and the drummer goes out of his blast beat for a second to play that with them, that is just icing on the cake. It's so good. Out of this world. I hope one day I can go to one of these shows, because just watching it here at home, I feel like I'm so sucked into it. I've been drawn into their world, and I completely forgot where I was. I was in a cocoon of black metal magic. I didn't want to come out. and now I come out a black magic butterfly and I feel great. I am talking nonsense. I guess just speaks volumes to how moving their music is, but can you imagine being at one of their shows? I'm sure many of you have, but yeah, I need to go see them one day because it's something else. I mean, I've blabbered on, I've gone on enough now, I'm probably not making much sense, but I think you get where I'm coming from. I think you can see how I'm reacting to this. They are so amazing. Just the attention, again, as I said before, just the attention to detail for everything is incredible. You can just see the intensity and the devotion to this music, and it's just art. It's just pure art, and it's fantastic. All right, I've blabbered on for a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought of this format. Do you like me doing the whole song and going back to little bits, or would you prefer me to pause as I go and keep the whole thing shorter? Love to get your feedback on it. I have a long list of other requests for these guys, but I'm sure you'll leave some more. Let me know what you'd like me to see me react to. Let me know if there's anything I missed, any cool information. Always love to hear from you lot. Yeah, you know where the like button and subscribe button is if you want to support me. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, I think we'll wrap things up. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.